Witch Chantel Leanne back again with another video. Today I'm not doing a tutorial. Today I'm talking about what inspired me to become a makeup artist and why I became a makeup artist. So, story time. When I was in about 5th grade, I had something growing on my skin. They were like lesions. They were dark brown. They looked like bruises. And it started on my back and traveled to my chest and my face, especially when I was going through puberty. And when my parents noticed it, they thought I was being dirty and I wasn't taking showers. And they would force me to like watch me take a shower and these lesions would not go away. And they're like, what's going on? So my parents tried to turn to other things to help me. My parents tried bleaching cream, and what ended up happening was the bleaching cream was bleaching my face and my skin, but the lesions were still on my skin. And they were very flaky and made my skin very, very dry. And when I would scratch them, if I scratched enough, I would start to see it turning white. And if I scratched any more, they would begin to bleed. So I was very insecure about this, especially starting middle school. I never wore halter tops or had my back out. I was very covered all the time. And as I was going through puberty, it got worse. It spread all over my face, around my nose. And we just didn't know what it was. And we tried different things and it just didn't work. I remember going to school and kids making fun of me and always asking me what was wrong with my face. And when I would use the bleaching cream, my skin would turn pale, but the lesions would still be there. So then kids started calling me a Dalmatian. And it was a very, very dark time for me. And I just didn't know what it was. I didn't understand why I was going through this, why my twin sister didn't have it, but I did, why nobody else in my family didn't have it, but I did. And it made me very depressed. So I started to eat my emotions and my feelings. And I remember going through puberty, going to family parties, and things like that. I don't even recall taking a lot of pictures. A lot of times when we'd go to family parties, I would actually hide and try and avoid the camera because I was so ashamed of my face and my skin. And it was just really, really rough. I only found 2 pictures of me between 6th grade and I believe 8th or 9th grade because I just hated taking pictures. I'll actually put them into the video later on today. But it was very tough for me. I remember coming home from school crying and just picking at my skin. I used to spend hours in the bathroom picking at my skin, hoping that it would go away. I noticed that it was very seasonal and it wasn't all the time that it would surface. It would only be summertime when the sun was out the most and sometimes around January. Basically the peaks of the year that it was the sunniest. And I remember on my 18th birthday, my senior year of high school, my mom took me to a dermatologist to finally figure out like what's going on. And I found out that I had something called papillomatosis. Not to be confused with HPV, it's not the same thing, but it's a benign tumor and it grows on the skin. It's very rare. Not a lot of people have it. And it's something that comes and goes. Unfortunately, there is no cure for it. It's only something that can be maintained with medication. And when I found out, that was like the most depressing day of my life. I remember crying like the entire day because I was like, great, I have to live with this for the rest of my life. What's wrong with me? Like, I would try to do research on the internet. And the sad thing about it is there's not a lot of information online about it at all whatsoever, especially at the time that I found out I had it. Even to this day, when I try and look it up online, there's no information. They don't know what causes it. They don't know why you get it. And there's no cure for it either. So, my mom saw what I was going through and she actually took me to MAC to buy foundation to try and hide the lesions all over my body until we found a cure. And, of course, kids still picked on me. But, I mean, I was happy that I was able to hide it. I remember my Sweet 16, I had a friend, her sister-in-law worked for MAC, so I remember her getting me a goodie bag filled with MAC cosmetics and things like that. So I decided to turn an insecurity into a hobby, so I started doing my makeup. I hopped on YouTube and I started watching different tutorials from different gurus. I remember the first person I've ever saw a tutorial from on YouTube, Her name was I Love Makeup. I'll put her name in the video. Beautiful person. She inspired me so much. After that, it was Time the Infamous. Then it was Makeup Doll. I could go on for days. But I would literally sit in front of my computer for hours and watch these videos. They would tell you what to buy, how they did it, the reviews on it. And I got so passionate about it that I started dabbling into makeup a lot. I remember in high school, by my junior year, I started getting creative and using colors on my eyes. If I look back to those pictures, I looked like a clown. But a lot of people liked it. I got a lot of comments from it. People would ask me if I could do it on them. And from there, the passion started and it never stopped. I continued to practice. I continued to try. And now I'm at the place that I am now. I'm purposely doing this video to show you guys the difference in my skin, so you guys could see the growth I have in my skin compared to the pictures I'm going to put in this video where my skin was very dark and flaky. They looked like bruises. It looked like I got beat up and it was all over my body. I still do struggle from it. I have outbreaks depending on the season. And it's very unfortunate that we live in South Florida because the sun is out all the time. So I always have it all over my skin. Right now, if you look at my face, I have dark spots at the sides of my face right here and on this side. And sometimes my face may seem discolored or two-toned, and that's just me struggling from the papilloma. But right now my skin is actually looking really, really great compared to usual. But I'm very proud of where I come from now. Back in the day, I was very insecure and I hated what I had to deal with. But I feel like I've had a lot of growth from it, and it really evolved me as a person and gave me a lot of character. So when I do these videos and I do my makeup, I want people to know that this comes from a place of insecurity that I turn into a passion. And it does set me aside from a lot of people, because a lot of people just hop on YouTube just to make a video, just to get views and likes. But I do this because this is something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that makes me proud of what I went through and what I dealt with. And earlier last week I did a video on this on Snapchat, and I broke down and cried because this was the very, very first time that I've actually come public with dealing with papilloma. It was very hard for me to go back and look at those pictures. I broke down and cried because so many emotions came back of being bullied and made fun of, and people asking me what's wrong with my face. Like, it's a lot of growth. So I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very proud of my skin, and I'm not afraid to come on YouTube or anything public and show my face, and I'm not ashamed about it because I've come so far. So I hope that this inspires someone, whatever you're insecure about or you're dealing with. It gives you growth. It makes you a strong person. And I hope that people tune in more to my videos. They see where I come from. I had a very close friend of mine tell me that if I'm going to go on YouTube, be different. Don't hop on here like everybody else, trying to do a tutorial like everybody else, because everyone's doing it. You have to set yourself aside from everyone else. You have to be different, and you have to set the bar high. You have to remember why you're doing it, what inspires you to do it, and what you hope to achieve. I hope that there's a cure for papilloma. The medication is expensive. You have to have 2 different ointments for it, for your face and body. I'm going to be spending money on this for the rest of my life, and I feel like it's not fair. Like, why isn't there a cure for this? They say there's a surgical cure, but it can reoccur. But I just don't want to have to deal with this. And because I clearly have the gene for it, I don't want to pass it down to my children either. I don't want my children to have to go through this or to be bullied in school because their skin is different from everyone else. So, yeah, I hope to be that different voice on YouTube. And I'm happy to be the first person to even do a YouTube tutorial, well, not a tutorial, well, a video on papillomatosis, because if you go online, there's no information on it. Even if you go to Wikipedia, there is no information on it. Like, literally, there's like 2 columns, and they have a picture of what it looks like up close. But that's it. There's nothing on it. It hasn't been updated. There's no information. It's just a benign tumor. Fronds that grow on the skin. But thank you guys for watching my video. I hope I inspire someone. And you guys stay tuned because I will definitely be having more tutorials. Bye.